live.
Tell me when to start.
Let's check out if we have any attendees yet.
Are we ready, Joanna?
I think we could be ready.
Okay, great. Welcome, everyone.
Let's go.
Welcome, everyone, to RightStep's second blended learning webinar in the series, 7 Tools to Help Your Teachers Embrace Blended Learning and Make You Look Like a Tech Rock Star Administrator. I'm Carly, and I am a professional development coach and communications specialist with RightStep's Writing. I am excited to be here today to present this webinar to you. Just a couple of tips before we get started. For better audio and video, please close any other applications that might be using bandwidth. For a larger view of the slides at any time, just make sure that your screen is maximized. Please post any questions in the chat box, and we will get to as many as we can throughout our session today. And if we don't get to all of them, don't worry, we will be in touch. If you are tweeting today, use hashtag Blended Writers Workshop. And if you have connection problems at any time, click reconnect at the bottom of your screen. So now I'll take just a couple of seconds to introduce our presenter today, who is Joanna Van Raden. She is a blended learning enthusiast and a passionate teacher of writing. She comes to us with 32 years of teaching experience in all grade levels, elementary and special education. And Joanna actually implemented the blended writing workshop in her own district. And in 2015, she received the Michigan Association of Computer Users in Learning Technology Teacher of the Year Award for blending actually all of her content areas. So now she is a creator of digital blended learning curriculum materials and also a national presenter on the Writers Workshop. So Joanna, welcome back, and thank you again for being with us.
Carly, you know, these webinars are actually a lot of fun. And when you and I just get to sit there and toss around ideas and share them with everyone, this is just so much fun. I'm glad to be back. Thank you for having me back.
Thank you. So before we take that deeper dive we've been talking about into those 7 tools, could you just maybe take a couple of minutes and just tell us your blended learning journey, how you got to where you are, and then we'll kind of take off from there.
I sure will. I still don't know quite exactly how I got here. I just remember being in the classroom forever and ever and ever, and I always loved technology. And I did work with special needs students, so I was always trying to find ways that technology could help those students, knowing that the universal design, it'll help all students. So eventually, I don't know, maybe about 5 years ago, the older I get, the more I forget. But anyway, about 5 years ago, our district received one-to-one iPads. I mean, it was a miracle. And I just jumped in. I'm not the trickle one. I'm the one that jumps in. So I started trying to think of ways that I could use the technology to help me do what I already did better. Not to replace me, but to help me do what I was trying to do better. I knew that standing in front of a group of students and lecturing took a lot of time, and I couldn't work one-to-one with students the way I wanted to. So what ended up happening was I tried recording myself teaching. And before long, I had recorded all of my lessons for every single one of my subjects. My students watched me teach, and instead of the lessons taking, I don't know, 50 minutes, they were down to 10. And then I had time to go one-to-one with students all day long. Eventually, as I retired, to change careers and share this love of blended learning wherever I go. And it's very exciting. And I meet teachers and administrators all over the country, and I share my love of blended learning. So that's where I am today.
I know that everyone at RightSteps is thrilled that your journey brought you this way. And I'll share a little bit about what we collaborated on at the end of the session. So let's just dive right in.
All right. I am going to, let me tell you that today I've created some slides, and they have a lot of short little video screencasts because I really want to take our administrators for a deeper dive into blended learning. So I'm going to be less on the screen. You'll still hear me in the background. I'm still right here with you, but I'll be sharing some things so that you really get a good look at what I'm trying to share with you. Let me get started here. I'm going to share. Give me a moment. There it is. And I believe you can all see my screen now. Carly, let me know if you can't. I'm ready to go.
I see it perfectly.
All right. So we're going to take a deeper dive. My goal, and I know yours, Carly, is that we demonstrate for administrators how they can lead their teachers by example, and they're going to be modeling for teachers these tools. And I have 7 of them chosen for you. And hopefully this is going to show your teachers that they can embrace blended learning. So let's see what I've got. Remember in our first webinar, if you were with us, we discussed the Triple E framework from the University of Michigan. Basically, when you as an administrator or any of us as teachers are choosing a technology tool, we want to think about these 3 guiding, I don't know, I guess words. We want to engage our learners. We want to do more for them than just simply the lecture. We want to enhance our learning. And this is where we meet all the needs of our special needs students, whether they're gifted or they're struggling. We also want to extend our learning beyond the school day, beyond the classroom, and we want to open up opportunities for students, and you, administrators, we want to open up the opportunities for your staff members as well. Carly and I have a friend out there. He is an administrator with the Wilson County schools in North Carolina, Eric Davis. And you know, Carly, he is, in my opinion, which is as good as anyone's, he is a rock star administrator. And I love to speak with Eric because he models the use of technology every single day, not only in his own school with his own staff and his school district, but really with teachers and administrators all over the, I'm not even going to say country, I'm going to say the world. He's very active on Twitter. You can follow him at Davis Welcome. Eric uses a variety of tech tools with his staff, his students, parents, and with his community. And when he chooses tools, I've noticed that they enhance, extend, and engage learning for everyone. He's now creating these short takes on YouTube. He's stepped out of the box even more. So every once in a while, when I have a question about how to help administrators, I love to pick Eric's brain. And you'll hear some of his thoughts today as I share with you. So I just wanted to let you know about Eric. I've chosen 7 tools for you for today. Most of them meet all 3 of the Triple E words. But I'm going to sort of break them into 3 groups. The first 2, and these are 2 of Eric's favorites, by the way. I asked him what his favorites were. And I'm going to talk about Adobe Spark and Typorama. My first tool is Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark is an excellent tool that you can use. You can create short videos, slideshows, and you can create web stories. Think about this. If you are demonstrating Spark for your staff, they will see you using it in a way, and perhaps they'll say, wow, I could do this with my own students. And I know Right Steps is all about writing, and that's my new passion, is how to use any of these technology tools to enhance writing and really motivate writers. And Adobe Spark would be a tool that I think you could use this for, and I'll give you some examples in a moment. It's easy to use, so don't let it intimidate you in any way. Creating videos can be intimidating, but Adobe Spark makes it very easy. It's free. Oh, did I say free? Yes, it's free, which is always a biggie for you. You can upload or share onto many different platforms. Now, I created my own Adobe Spark just to show you an example. So this is what I mean by you're going to see less of my face, but you're going to see more examples. So here we are with Adobe Spark. Let me show you what I created for you.
I'm just going to give you a quick run through on how you might motivate your staff to use some new technology. Let's look at Adobe Spark. Here are just a few ideas. What about recognizing staff members? You could post a staff member's picture and express some gratitude for something that they've done that's stepping out of the box using technology. Like this. Carly and Suzanne spread the word about Right Steps. Nice job. What about sharing a special activity? Students in Miss Niehouse's room were using Captivation Station to blend their writer's workshop this week. Check it out.
So the music and everything came right from Adobe Spark, and it was quite simple to use. You could choose any background also. Now, my number 2 technology tool for you to try is Typorama. Eric uses this for all sorts of activities. He takes these typoramas that he creates and he puts them into YouTube videos. He puts them into emails and all sorts of things. You can create posters. It's basically just a graphics app. You wouldn't use it to make a movie, but I suppose if you created several of them, you could blend them all. You can create inspirational posters for your staff or informational, and I'm going to show you some examples in just a moment. What I really like about Typorama, other than the fact that it's free and super easy to use, is that it comes with motivational quotes. You don't have to go hunting the internet for inspirational quotes for your staff or students or parents, and you can choose from a variety of backgrounds. These are some examples that I created in just a couple minutes. I mean, I use these, I think I was using my cell phone to create these. Eric actually created this. He gives his staff a goal each week. And as you can see on this one, it's a shout out day. He said, recognize and celebrate your colleagues for accomplishing their fitness goal. So he just used Adobe Spark to make that quick, easy little poster. I made this with Happy December. I just chose a background of snowflakes and I was able to play around with the font and make it however I wanted. Wouldn't that be nice on a newsletter of some kind? I made a schedule. You can see a schedule right here. I just took a basic school schedule, something I remembered from back when I was in the classroom. And it might not be the best background for it, but I was playing around with it. And you can choose from a variety of backgrounds. And you can also change the font and the style. You see, these are all different styles I chose. Here's our friends over at Write About, and I just simply took their basic logo and then I added writing should be fun, which is something that they say all the time, and I put that on and made myself a fun little graphic. This was a frame, and I chose a motivational phrase and was able to create that nice little success motivational phrase for people. So very easy to use, and you could use that. You could import those into newsletters or whatnot. Let's talk to Eric. I asked Eric how he thought using Adobe Spark and Typorama might be used to inspire teachers, and ultimately, let's face it, we want to improve our writing at our schools. So here are Eric's thoughts when I asked him this. And Carly, I believe you had some questions for Eric too. This is a really great conversation.
Absolutely. I mean, you think about it. I mean, using the same concept as I use when I advertise for like an Engage chat or the short tips. I mean, yeah, those are just Typorama mixed with a little Adobe Spark or what have you. But now with short takes, I'll take the Adobe Spark video that I created, maybe with a little Typorama inserted in there, but then I'll upload it to YouTube. Yeah. So
App smasher you.
yeah. So again, Adobe Spark has just been fantastic, and like you said, it's very simple.
Yeah, I like that. The ease of use.
I have a couple questions. So your teachers see these, you're using these. Are they then trying them in their classrooms?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, listen, let me tell you something. You know, so many teachers from my school system right now have joined Twitter and joined the weekly chats just because they've seen me on these chats. And now they've explored Voxer, they're in Voxer. Ideas that I'm putting out there, they hear ideas from people all over the world. And now they're able to take those back to their classroom. I mean, they're collaborating on a whole other level now because they started this process.
You know, Eric just mentioned using Voxer and Twitter. And I'm going to get into Twitter in a little while, but he really taught me about using Voxer. And these next two tools are tools that I specifically think will enhance learning in some way for all of us. And I thank Eric for teaching me about Voxer. I'm really having fun with Voxer. And another new tool that I've just found out about is MoveNote. And I'm going to share those with you now. Voxer is like a walkie-talkie. For those of us that remember walkie-talkies, it has a walkie-talkie tool. You use it right from your cell phone. I believe it's for iPad also. But what would be really cool with this Voxer app is that you could use it for ongoing discussions with your staff. You could set up a group, and I belong to a huge group, Eric's Engaged Chat Group. I think there's 100 people in it now, but you could set one up just for your staff members. It's private. And you could use voice, and you could use text messages. Have these discussions before your staff meeting. You get a lot of these back and forth conversations taken care of before your staff meeting. Everyone feels like they're heard and they can share their opinion. This is when I created for Carly and for me to play with, just to see how it worked. And we had a few voice things. I shared a photograph with her of something I wanted her to know about, and she could write to me and I could write to her. Basically, you press the walkie-talkie button, and you send your voice message. It goes that quickly. You can also add images, and you could attach a document of some kind also. Carly, I had this idea. I believe that you are going to be giving a handout away today. It's your idea swap from WriteSteps. And I got to thinking about how we could use that writing workshop and discuss writing with staff. And I thought, what if a principal or an administrator were to give the staff an idea at the beginning of the week? This week's writing discussion idea swap. And I just took a picture of it, added it, used a little circle, and this is the question that they would be responding to over the week. And then maybe teachers had a chance all week to just go back and forth and share their ideas on that question.
Yes, I'm so excited to share this resource. When I'm doing PD with administrators, this is one of their favorite materials that I give them. So I think there's something for everyone on this. So we'll send that out tomorrow with the replay of the webinar.
Awesome. And if they go ahead and use Voxer for this, they don't have to spend the actual time at the meeting. They can get right to nitty-gritty items. So let's go on. Let's move on to my number 4 tool for you to try, and that's MoveNote. I am getting a little bit addicted to MoveNote, I have to admit. It's really fun. You can create video presentations really quickly. You can publish your videos right through email really, really quickly if you still use a lot of email for your staff communication. And by doing this, you're modeling the use of technology for your staff. And they may see this app or this tool used and then say, hey, I want to try that in my classroom. You could set up a Google Drive folder if you wanted to and share your MoveNotes there. You could include them in newsletters. You could put them on your LMS like Schoology or Edmodo or Google Classroom, or you could even share these with parents on your school Facebook page. You know, I just heard about a great idea that I thought I would share with you today. What if you, as the administrator, created a MoveNote at the beginning of the week, shared it with your staff, let them see how you use it. You save time for that staff meeting. Then when the staff meeting comes up, you actually say to your staff, hey, why don't you play around with MoveNote now and see how you could use it with your students, especially if you're concentrating on writing and inspiring writing workshop ideas. What a great way to do that. Use that time at that staff meeting to practice this tool. Here are a couple examples of MoveNotes that I created to show you. The first one is very basic. I hope you like it. Get that going. Whoops. Oh no, there it is.
I just wanted to share a quick example of how I might use MoveNote with staff. This was a presentation that I just did at the NYSCAT, that's New York State Technology Convention, and I met these rock star teachers. By the way, they gave me that green EduHero cape, It was really fun. So this is just one way that I could share a little bit about something that happened to me, and you might want to share like this with your staff.
Now, you may have noticed, put my earbuds back in, you may have noticed that a little box popped up. Well, what's really cool, you can tell I grew up in the 70s when I say cool. But anyway, Carly, don't laugh at me. All your listener has to do is click reply, and this box pops up, and they can simply ask you any question that they have instantly. How handy would that be? Here's another move note that I created, and I was thinking teachers could use this with their students. There's a lot of examples at the MoveNote website on how you can use this for educational purposes. So let me just share this with you.
In this next clip, I'm just going to show you how you can actually add a few different slides, and they just continue. This is a rock star teacher that I've been working with who's been using a blended writers workshop. Sometimes she uses a whole group method, and sometimes her students use a one-to-one method. So she's able to blend her writers workshop and be working with students one-on-one. Anyway, this is just an example of how you could create a slideshow and narrate each slide using MoveNote.
MoveNote, because I just think it has these. Let's move in. Eric spoke about a lot of work on Twitter, and I have to say, as an educator, as a lifelong learner, I was a little hesitant to use Twitter at first, and I have come to rely on Twitter for building a professional learning network that extended way outside of my own classroom, outside of my school. And it's 24/7 PD, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about that in a moment. I also have two tools that you can use for collaborating and also for extending that learning outside of your building, outside of your district, and that's going to be Smore and Padlet. Let's start with Twitter.
So Joanna,
I know a lot of people.
I wanted to let you know that it's pretty much split right down the middle as far as our administrators having a Twitter account. I just asked, and it looks like about 50% said yes, they have a Twitter account, and 50% said nope, not yet.
Oh, well, that's good to know, because I will go a little bit quicker through some of this, and I congratulate those that are using Twitter. And I just spoke with a dear administrator friend the other day. I won't use her name in public, but I will say that she's adorable. She has a Twitter account, but she says she just doesn't have the time that's necessary. So, I'm going to explain why you can find that time, and if you do, some of the benefits. Number one, let's talk about branding your school. Our school, back a few years ago, started their own hashtag, and parents could find us, and they could find out what was going on in our district and in our classrooms very quickly by using a hashtag. Here's the best benefit to me. I can't say it, and I think I already did once, actually. You can access professional development and build a professional learning network 24/7 by attending some of the chats. They're available literally 24 hours a day. You can also create staff Twitter challenges to really motivate your staff to grow on Twitter. Very simple to get started, and I'm not going to do too much here, but you do start by choosing a profile name. Now, if it's for your school, super. You're going to have that @ symbol and then a name for your school. I have 3 different Twitter names that I'll share with you. Mine on Twitter is @JVRTeaches. Joanna VR Teaches. I've been using that for 3 years now, I think. I have another one that's @WriteWithJVR, and the reason it's JVR is because Write with Joanna was actually already taken on Twitter, so I had to change my name around a little bit. The Write Steps Twitter account is @WriteSteps with an underscore, and that's important to keep in mind, because if you don't use the underscore for our Twitter account, you get someone else. So you're not really tweeting to Write Steps, you're tweeting to someone else. When you see that egg pop up, you want to replace that egg. People on Twitter don't typically take you seriously as a tweeter if you still have that egg. It means you haven't hatched yet as an official Twitter person. Add a photo of yourself. Don't be shy. You want to complete your biography, and remember, you only have 160 characters, so keep it short and sweet. You want to add your school website address. If you have one, you definitely want that on there. It will help with branding your school. Follow some people, and don't feel like you have to follow everyone. And just because someone follows you doesn't mean you have to follow them back. Some of those people you may want to block, and that's okay. Then get tweeting and retweeting. And remember, everyone starts somewhere. Just start. And then check those notifications regularly and make sure to use your Twitter name. This is what my Twitter page looks like. You can follow me at either one of my Twitter names. And I do encourage you, if you're trying to learn more about Blended Writers Workshop, I started a hashtag group, Blended Writers Workshop. Notice that there is not an apostrophe in writers, and that's not because I'm not a grammar expert. It's because Twitter wouldn't allow me to add that symbol for my hashtag. So keep that in mind. If you do a search for hashtag Blended Writers Workshop, I collect all sorts of information and I save it there. This is a quick example of a school that I just think does an outstanding job of branding themselves. They have their Twitter handle at DL Sims Elementary. My friends in Conyers, Georgia, they're just amazing. They're constantly using those hashtags to alert their parents and their community to see the great things that are happening with their Sims Ivy League scholars. If you need help, I'm not going to spend any more time. I don't expect you to be professional on Twitter by the end of this webinar, but I do encourage you to look up Cybrary on Twitter, or you can even just do a Google search for Cybrary. It's Jerry Baumgartner, and he has a wealth of resources for so many different topics. And one of his pages is all about how to get started on Twitter and all of the chats. Worried that your staff can't find a Twitter chat that might interest them? Just look at 1 month's worth of Twitter chats. I am serious. Now, I know this is a small graphic, but if you can't find something to interest you or to learn from here, I don't know what else I can do to help you, but available 24/7. And that chat calendar is available even by just doing a Google search. If you still need a way to inspire your staff and get them going, give them a Twitter bingo. Just offer to take, a recess duty, or to give them, I don't know, some prize. It could be a candy bar in their mailbox, or staff recognition at a staff meeting. Just give them a bingo game and let them go to town with some of those basic Twitter setup things. I'm sorry, I'm losing my train of thought there, but just a way to get started. Now, let's move on to my number 6 tool to help engage and motivate your staff. I love S'more. S'more is, Carly knows, I'm getting really into this whole S'more thing. It's an interactive newsletter. And if you're still using an old, written copy, take a step here, walk the walk for your staff, and try S'more. I created this quick one here on why you should blend your staff meetings. I selected a title, I had a header here, use technology to save time for those bigger projects, how to maximize time. I tell you something here. It lets me put photographs, and it lets me use captions for each of my photographs. Let me give you a walkthrough of this. This is a real interactive kind of a newsletter. Watch how it looks on a real page. You can share these S'mores, send them as newsletters right through your email. You could share them on your Facebook page, on Twitter, Google+. You can even put it on Pinterest or embed it right into a school website. You can privatize it. You can collect analytics to see, how many people are reading these newsletters. What a great idea for school improvement. Collect that data. You can include links for your staff, for your parents to check out. When you click any of the links, it'll take you right to that page. You can use these photographs, and when you click them, they get large. All right, just highlight some great things that are happening in your district. Again, we're talking about branding, and teachers are watching you. You can also insert videos Think about that for Writer's Workshop. A teacher could use this to highlight all the writing that's going on in the classroom and share that interactive newsletter with parents. I mean, as a parent, I would have loved to get this kind of a newsletter instead of a static handout. Back when I used those newsletters, though, I don't think we had these awesome tools. So that's just a way that you could use this. Now, administrators, I think I mentioned before, what if you were to send out a newsletter in S'more ahead of time? And then what if you encouraged your staff to come to your next staff meeting and create their own classroom S'more newsletter and give them the time to do that? Just another idea. My number 7 tool is Padlet. I have been to many workshops and I've heard about Padlet, and I guess I just never realized how powerful it can be for so many different reasons. I used it recently at a workshop that I did, and wow, it made things so much easier. And I think as administrators, you could create Padlets for your staff, your school, everyone. And it's a way of communicating with classrooms and students, and I guess your community also. You can pose a question. Think about this, administrators. Let's say you're thinking about a curriculum change. You post a question on your Padlet. Should we change our reading program? It's as simple as that. Then you begin to collect responses before the staff meeting where you want to make a decision. Or what if you wanted to inspire some writing and really motivate writing on a school-wide level? What if you created a school-wide writing prompt for your students? An example might be, do you think we could stop bullying at our school? And then you invite students and classrooms to talk about it and collaborate and add their thoughts to your Padlet. This is a great way to inspire more writing school-wide. Here's an example of a Padlet that I just used at one of my trainings. I wanted to highlight this because using Padlet, I mean, you could pick any kind of background. I just chose this cork board. And I was able to put a video of myself to them so I could make it very personal. I could give examples of different tools I was trying to share with them. I took several of my little videos, I put them up onto YouTube, and then I just simply put them right here on my Padlet. And I'm going to walk you through just a little bit more here. Oh, I was able to put links to handouts that I wanted people to use. Here is just a little video of what this looks like. And I'll walk you through. Whoops, sorry about that. Let me go back. So here's I wanted my staff to start there. I showed them my examples. They could watch those before the actual professional development began. Then I invited other teachers to start inserting their own thoughts. And you can see that my friend Miss Niehaus added some ideas. I added handouts. And look at this, it took them right to my handouts page. Goes right back with a click. I wanted them all to sign up for free trials for Captivation Station. I even included that to take them right to the web page. This is something that a teacher shared with me. Look, I'm talking in my Padlet. What an interactive and fun way to communicate. All they have to do is click the little button right down there. It's a plus symbol, and it'll show up a new little like notepad, and they just click it and start inserting. They can make it larger. So that's how Padlet could work. I thought about how you could use one for a staff meeting. Oops, sorry about that. There it is. This is how you could use it for a staff meeting. You could post a thought like, what was your takeaway from our last staff meeting? You select your background. Go to next. Select your privacy settings. I really like this. You can have it private. You can have a password. You can have it public to anyone. Very handy. And you can moderate what goes on there also. Many teachers are using this. And like I said, all you do is invite your staff to click that little button, and they start inserting video, audio, hyperlinks, even documents that you want to share with them. So I hope, oh, go ahead, Carly, you had a question?
I just was going to share with you that it seems like the audience is sharing your excitement about S'more, because it looks like 50% say that that's
Wow.
where they're going to start. And then after
Oh, I
that, it
love
was split between Twitter, Adobe Spark, and Padlet. So it seems like people are
Really?
most excited about S'more.
Awesome. I mean, I'm telling you, I just think it's a great way to really take those old kind of newsletters and make them interactive and fun to look at, and just think how teachers are going to respond to that. They're going to want to have these as their newsletters. So, Carly, that's my 7 tools, and I'm going to just pop this in one last time. When you choose, use with your school, your students, your teachers, I think if all of us could just keep these 3 simple words in mind: will it engage, will it enhance, and will it extend the learning for us outside of the school day? You know, it's just a way to say, is it really worth my time to use this tool, so that it's not just a fun little gadget, it really has a purpose. So you did our poll, which was
Yep.
really fun.
Mhm.
All right. Carly, I'm going to let you go from here, and please invite me back if you need me.
I will, thank you. If you could just lock the screen so that our viewers can see what's on the screen instead of my face, I would appreciate it. So Joanna shared with all of you the 7 tools that she thinks will get your teachers excited about blended learning. And I, as a representative of WriteSteps, have just one more tool to share with you, and that is Captivation Station, which is our new digital writing and practice platform for students in grades 3 to 5. And with Captivation Station, students watch a video or videos presenting the WriteSteps lessons, and then that frees the teachers up to spend time differentiating and personalizing instruction through writing conferences. So everything that teachers need to teach writing is included with Captivation Station, and we at WriteSteps are really excited about this, and so are many teachers throughout the country. So if you have any questions or would like to learn more about Captivation Station, you can email me, carly@writestepswriting.com, and I will also include a link where you can sign up for a free demo when I send out the replay of this webinar, as well as Joanna's digital blended learning toolbox and the WriteSteps idea swap that we talked about earlier. So let's see if there are any questions, Joanna. And in the meantime, I am going to share my Twitter challenge with you. Twitter is one of my New Year's resolutions. So here's what I'm proposing for you. Follow us at WriteSteps_ and tweet your takeaway from today's webinar to us using our Twitter name, and use the hashtag Blended Writers Workshop in your tweet. So I have an example here. Learned about Voxer, or you were excited about S'more, so maybe share some information about that. And then I'll take a look at all of the tweets that are sent to our hashtag and posted to us, and I will put the names in a drawing and send out one set of kindergarten through 2nd grade and one set of 3rd to 5th grade privacy folders. Teachers love these, and I'll share them with an administrator, and maybe you could give them to a teacher who is excited about blended learning in your school. Or you could even use them for your Twitter bingo winners in your school. So I just
They're very popular.
They are one of the favorite items, yes. And so I just wanted to share a comment. I'm not sure if everybody saw it in the chat box. It was pretty early on in the webinar, but Gail said that she didn't have a question, but she had a 1-day training for teachers at her school, and 2 days later, they've already begun to implement blended learning. So teachers are ready and excited. The kids are so savvy and so quick to learn. And I know that teachers that are using Captivation Station are just thrilled with the progress their kids are making. And I'm sure teachers will be so excited to learn about these new tools and hopefully Captivation Station as well. So Joanna, any last words before we end this webinar?
I wanted to thank Gail for her comment. We really appreciate that. And that's exactly what we're hoping, Carly, is that if you administrators are out there leading the way and showing that you're willing to take the same risks that your staff are, that it's just going to motivate your staff. And I really love that idea of showing them something that'll save time in a staff meeting, and then making up that staff meeting time by actually giving them that time to practice and share and collaborate, and find different teachers in your buildings who are leaders and are willing to be the school experts on that app or that tool.
Yep. And I just encourage the administrators, the same thing I say to my teachers, just model, model, model. The more they see you using it, the more they'll want to use it, and then the more comfortable everybody will be.
Exactly. Please reach out to us. I love to hear again how your students are more motivated. I know that I've seen Right Steps on Twitter when teachers have their classrooms tweet something about writing that they're doing in the classroom. I've never seen any other company that does this, but they actually tweet right back to the classroom and give them that authentic feedback. That's pretty cool. So it's another really fun, I don't know, I'm just, thank you. I'll just be quiet now. I've really enjoyed our talk with you. My mind never stops. It's always moving with more ideas, Carly, as you know.
I do know. So it's been great to work with you, and I know we're so thankful for your work with Captivation Station, helping us create those instructional videos for the kids. So I hope that we get the opportunity to work together again very soon.
I can't wait. Aren't we going to do a teacher webinar coming up soon?
Yeah, so that will be sometime in February, and we will send that out with the information as soon as it's ready.
Can't wait. So administrators, share with your teachers that Carly and I will be back in February, and perhaps they'll want to jump onto a webinar.
So, okay, great. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
Bye. Thanks again.